Oh no. The electrics of this place have always been an absolute mess and just confused the hell out of me. We have the most bizarre and varied assortment of plugs and switches and breaker boards all over the place. We've got inside ones, we have some that are outside and hanging off the wall. We have some with keys. We have some that are stupid high up. We have these things. We've got real dangly ones. We have this beast. We've got ones with buttons. Those are not buttons. Wires everywhere. It's kind of like when they're trying to solve a crime in the movies, you know, and they've got string connecting all the different dots, except all those strings are like, you know, high voltage. I mean, our place actually comes with 3-phase power, but it is wired so poorly that we can't run the jug and the oven at the same time. A little bit of load and we lose all power to the house, goes dark. Kids are so used to it happening now, nobody freaks out. No one goes, oh, what's happened? He'll just wait. I run out to the barn, flip the main breaker and it comes back on, and then they're like, oh, Dad, the lights are back on. It's such a normal part of our life. But now that we're wiring the new place, it's become absolutely critical that I actually understand how it works and how we can get more than one of the 3 phases into our home where we actually need it. So it's been a massive mission, but I've done it. It took me a good couple of hours rummaging around in all the insulation and in the dark corners to find where all the wires go. But I know exactly where the 3 phases split. I was right. They do split into 3 separate places, and only one of those currently goes into our house. So we're going to bring 2 phases in when we redo this section so that we can actually use our appliances without being thrust into darkness. So this is where the main power comes in. We get 3 phases in here and 3 phases that leave here, along with all sorts of other things. I didn't really know what to make of this. I've spent a lot of time looking at it, both front and back. Terrified to touch it. And yeah, I had to basically start following the wires from here and see where they led. And they lead in all directions. So it took a long time. But what I found, so one of the many wires does make it over here, and we had these 2 things, which I had a feeling were meters of some sort. This one is moving at all times, so, you know, there's power going through it, but I didn't know exactly what they were or how they fit in. So I actually took a picture of them and I uploaded it into ChatGPT, and I just said, what are these? And that was the key that unlocked the whole mystery, because it said, oh, so these are meters for, they're French meters. It even said like the year that they were made, because that's written on there somewhere. And then it said these are for metering a single phase of electricity. I was like, wait, a single phase? Because 3 phases go in to the top of this very DIY board, which is just like a wooden box. So 3 phases go in, 2 separate phases go out, and 1 phase disappears.
I remember when we were trying to figure this out together, we turned off all the fuses, and wasn't there one light that we couldn't turn off?
Yeah.
We turned off the main fuse.
And there was still light going. On. Yeah, so we need to wire everything in the house through that wire.
Yeah.
Because also, no, the meter's out by the gate. Nothing goes around the meter, unfortunately.
But how is that light, that wire, not through the main breaker?
I don't know.
Do you feel qualified?
Well, yeah, I feel qualified to install all of the cabling and stuff. I will have the breaker board and everything inspected by a technician. But yeah, like, this is chaos. I don't feel qualified to understand this, but I do feel like with the research I've been doing that I can start from scratch and do it clean and do it right. It's pretty simple, you know? Power comes in, goes through a breaker. If the breaker is in a wet area, it needs an RCD, residual current device. Then it needs to go through some sheathing to its power source. It needs to be the right thickness of wire if it's a plug or lights. It needs to be certain heights off the ground and away from doors. And that's it, you know? There are rules you got to follow, and you follow them, and a technician goes, bon travail! The beauty of the sheathing is really like the command Z of the whole thing, because if I have done a horrible job, I can pull all the wires through there, put new wires in through there, and I don't have to, like, dismantle the walls. You know? There's channels everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy about that. But yeah, No, it's been a lot of research. It costs about €700 to buy the official copy of the French wiring code, but if you know where to look, you can actually find all the information that you need online for free. There are some excellent resources and even a fully interactive guide that I have linked in the description below. All that work to figure out exactly how the power in this place is currently working and how it's going to work has been so that we can start running the wiring in here. Now, I want to insulate these walls and I want to have the wiring in for this side before I run the insulation down because the cables are going to be on the inside. We also have worked out where all of the wires are going to go for the kitchen on the other side of this wall. And there are a lot of them, so that's going to take a while. That's my goal for tonight, to get as much of that done as I can. I don't want to cut holes in these walls, I'm really happy with them. I'll start with the down low one in case it goes horribly wrong. Two for two. I didn't drill through the water pipes, so that's good. I forgot they were on the other side. Okay, I'm confused. How does this work? Right. Yeah? What? Make sushi? Okay, what time is it? Give me 10 minutes and then I'll come make sushi, I guess. It was good to have got that. This is the actual project that I wanted to be getting into this week, so that's exciting. I hope that's everything I need, because as much as I love this place, and I do love this place, I don't want to come back here another time this week. So, yeah, fingers crossed. The most unexpectedly time-consuming part of this process has been drilling all the holes in the top of the wall to run the wires down. It's a 3-step process where you drill from below, then above, and then below again. My drill started having a little bit of trouble, so something had to be done. And wait, what's happening? Is it really? It's evolving! Wow. With the drill upgraded, I was all set to continue, using the hole saw to take out chunks of the floor to allow the cables to run through. After each hole, I had to take apart the drill bit to remove the section of floor that was blocking it up, and I got pretty fast at doing so. Check out my personal best time here. A clean 16 seconds. The final part of the drilling, which is widening a hole in the top of the metal frame, uses this stepped metal cutting bit, and that thing gets hot. This is phonic insulation so that we can have a bit of separation between the toilet and the inside. And I need my brand spanking new, absolutely savage insulation knife. Jeepers, look at that thing. Oh, what are the two sides for? I don't know how this works. I wasn't expecting options. Yoink. This feels way too thick. That's why. It's 2 layers. That's better. First thing I'm doing is measuring out a meter there on the table. I've just clamped there to mark it, and now I can easily run the conduit and the cable a meter at a time until it gets the right length. Absolutely gutted, because I thought that I had my 50 meters of the 1.5 mil and my 50 meters of the 2.5 mil. But that's for lights, and this is for plugs. Turns out someone had picked this up, put it back in the wrong pile, and I foolishly didn't check the label. And what I have is 100 meters of 1.5 mil. So I can wire the lights, but none of the plug sockets. So I have to go back to the briquette, and I will read the labels this time. That's everything I can do for right now without having the correct cable for the plugs, but I shall pop these on the walls. It's kind of exciting. That one go in there? Yeah. Good job. High five. Thanks, Bubba. Back at Brico Depot for the second time today and the fourth time this week. Merci à vous. I am back with what I need now, and man, it feels like since last time I was out here, the seasons have changed. We have got the birds flying back for summer.
They flew right over. Oh my god.
And we've got summer's a stretch. We've got the birds flying back because it's almost spring. The bulbs are coming up in the garden. We saw daffodils out on a drive the other day. Like, it's getting better. I think we're through the worst of it, and that feels so good. The sun is now streaming inside there every time I open those shutters, and you really get a feel of how good it's going to be once we're inside. I'm so excited. If I could give one tip to anyone who's about to wire their own home, it is to label everything. Have a plan, draw a picture, mark out names for each of the plugs, and then label each of the wires that go to those plugs. It's easy enough to identify them at the plug end or the switch end, but when they come to the breaker box side of things and they're all bunched up, those labels are going to save your life. Nobody but me will ever be able to read that. Right, measured the bench tops in the kitchen. We're very happy with the height of those because we built them ourselves to be the height that we wanted. So we're going to be reflecting the same height in here. I'm sure it's fairly standard anyway. And then measuring the height above the bench that we want all of the plugs for the appliances to go. That feels completely wrong. What? Check that again. That's crazy. I just had to go measure that again because like that's the height that our bench is, that I use every day, and it feels perfectly right. But then when I mark it on here and it isn't an actual bench, it feels crazy low. Like I would have said, oh, the bench top must be about here. But it is absolutely not. This is our bench top currently. This is where our plugs are going to be. Weird. Oh man. Sound isolating plasterboard is about twice as heavy as regular plasterboard. Man alive. Oh. Oh. This is where I have to get clever again and refer to the plan. This is the wrong plan. This one has the wiring, okay. One is going, and this is 1400. Quick question, plugs inside the pantry, same level as the plugs along the bench? A resounding yes. All right, easy. Sweet, let's do it. What the hell is happening there? Oh no! That really could have gone horribly wrong. Looks great, does not want to stay. Too much insulation. Alright, it's caught on there, we're fine. This is a really, really clever tool that I didn't know existed, and I hadn't really figured out exactly how I was going to do this neatly. Probably just going to wing it, but I'm chuffed that I found this. So the plugs that we're putting here and here are going to be double sockets, so we want 2 sockets side by side. This allows you to drill the holes in exactly the right spaces so that everything is perfectly level. So you pop this in the first hole, like so. Then there's little spirit levels built in here and here. You get that flush and level. Oh, that's sensitive. Like that. And then mark where your next hole is going. Then when you drill the next hole, in exactly the right place, and then you just have to cut these edges off, and you've got the spot for the double. And that was just exactly as satisfying as I thought it was going to be. Ow! Look at that! Amazing! Love it. Very cool. And that's it. All the plasterboard is on now and it just looks fantastic. I'm so thrilled. That was my goal for the week, to get all of the wiring, insulation and plasterboard on, and I did it. Well, no, I didn't. I really wish I did. That was my goal for the week, based on nothing other than the fact that it would have just been really satisfying to have that. Feels like getting the plasterboard on means those walls are really walls and they're solid and they're done for now. But there just wasn't time. There is often not time. It seems to be a running trend with this renovation. But I will get those on. Still a few hours of daylight left, so who knows, might even be today. But it's certainly not going to be in this video. Next time you see me on here, those walls will be done, I assure you.